The definition of transportation refers to the movement of people, animals and goods from one place to the other. While the movement can be done through different modes of transport such as air, land, sea, cable, pipeline and space transport. Mode of transportation refers to different ways by which goods or people are transported from one place to the other through land, air or sea. The other modes are via pipelines, cable, and space. Transportation is important because it facilitates exchange and travel. Without transportation, the different regions are isolated from each other. In addition, the transportation is an essential activity that provides access services and activities, such as education, employment, shopping, and social events. The quality of transport options available affects people's ability to participate in social and economic activities. What factors affect transportation demand? First is demographic factor, that is number of people, employment rate, wealth, income and lifestyle. Second is commercial activity factor, that is number of job, business activity, freight transport and tourist activity. Third is transport options factor, that is public transit, delivery service, automobile and ride sharing. Lastly is land use factor, that is connectivity, density, roadway design and walkability, but due to the factor it has give the impact to the environment. And there are four major environmental impact of transport development. One of major environmental impact is air pollution. Transport is a major source of air pollution not only in developed but in developing countries also. Ecologists believe that the rapid increase in the number of vehicles on our roads, which has taken place without any real restriction, is fast developing into an environmental crisis. Exhaust fumes are the major source of atmospheric pollution by the motor vehicle. These emissions are also responsible for the increase in global warming. The most obvious way of achieving a reduction in pollution by motor vehicles is to reduce the emission of fumes at source.
The second environmental impact is noise pollution. Transportation contributes to sound pollution, mainly in urban centers, where there is an accumulation of road and railway vehicles in circulation. Despite the focus on road transportation, noises are produced in all modes of transportation, causing damage to the health of living beings. The sources of noise from road vehicles are many and varied, including brake squeal, door slam, loose loads, horns, over-amplified music systems, etc. While the noise pollution problems around airports are well known as the noise pollution. The third environmental impact is land consumption and landscape damage. Land consumption is not just a direct consequence of transport development, it may also occur indirectly as land is utilized for the extraction of the raw material required for construction. Major impact of transport-related land loss and land use change may be a decline in the visual amenity or aesthetic attraction of the landscape. Visual impact may be essentially linear in nature for road, rail and inland waterway developments, or nodal in character as with the large terminal installations of sea and airports. Obviously, however, the impact of adverse landscape change is likely to be much more significant in areas of high scenic value, such as national parks and mountain passes, or where a flat topography allows visual intrusion over a wide area. Lastly, the environmental impact is ecological degradation. The degradation of terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems, as measured by indicators such as reduced habitat, species diversity, primary productivity or the areal extent of ecologically valuable plant and animal communities, provides one of the most emotive aspects of the tension between transport development and environmental quality. Severance is another direct consequence of land-based transport development. The physical division of natural or semi-natural ecosystems may inhibit the movement of animal and plant species across transport lines, and the associated reduction in size can threaten the viability and/or biodiversity of the smaller remnants. However, the indirect or secondary effects of transport development may also be responsible for many adverse impacts on wildlife, including those associated with air, water, and noise pollution. In conclusion, to reduce impact of transportation on environment, countries have regulated the emission level of pollutants of passenger cars and heavy-duty vehicles. To overcome difficulties with air pollution, companies worldwide implement green technologies in the transportation system. In fact, the only way we can essentially stop the problems is to fulfill green management's practices for environmental safety in reduction of fuel and oil consumption. Firstly, eliminate the usage of gasoline-powered vehicles, choose hybrid and electric vehicles instead. Second, use the best quality fuels for the vehicles. Third is reduce the travel distance of the passenger. Next is raise usage of public transport instead of private and build proper transportation infrastructure. Lastly, switch to a more environmentally friendly fuel.